Hi, welcome to Random Ramblings, where I randomly ramble or ramblingly randomly ramble. In this one, we're going to be talking about, as you can see here, Bioware at it again, making the straight franchise in existence: Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age Inquisition, who had no any gay characters whatsoever, and making it gay now. Shame, 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 shame. Now this defender, this warrior, is just simply stating, "Are you ready for Dragon Gay for Dreadwolf Bros?" And it's just like, you can see right here, right here. Oh, terrible, awful. Now to get a bit more serious, this is a very weird tweet to make, and sometimes this reoccurs a lot of the times. For some reason, a lot of people don't understand what Bioware is trying to do. And it feels like they just haven't played a Bioware game at all, or just don't. If they played them, they don't really think critically about them, right? And so what I want to do is just go through a few things. One, the implication that Patrick Weeks being here is somehow an indication that the game's going to be bad, when that is like demonstrably false. And so let's start with that. So here is his Wikipedia page, which we can see. These are the games he worked on. He worked on Mass Effect 1 as a writer. He worked on Dragon Age Origins as an additional design, Mass Effect 2, writer. And here's something that not a lot of people say. He also wrote Mordin Solus. You know, that cool doctor character that everyone likes so much in Mass Effect, and when he had his death in Mass Effect 3, it was so emotional and people were just crying and sad all the times. He also wrote Thane as well, that other character that people really liked and were very sad when he died in Mass Effect 3. Yeah, that character as well. He also wrote the Mass Effect 3 Citadel DLC. Arguably one of the best DLCs in gaming, full of wonderful character reactions, and just a good story overall. It's amazing, And then he wrote Dragon Age Inquisition, and here's the thing, he wrote Solus as well. The big bad Dreadwolf. He also wrote that as well. This guy is not some random guy that Bioware just pulled off the street. He's a really good writer. He even writes for his own books. Now, I haven't read those ones, but I'm not here to talk about the quality of those ones. It's just simply saying that he's a very high-skilled writer. He knows what he's doing. He's written a lot, not just in Dragon Age, but his own series as well. He's really good. And so it's weird to imply that Patrick Weeks is just not a good person to write for Dragon Age, when it's demonstrably clear that he is one of the legacy writers for Bioware. Right, he may not be legacy as in David Gator with Baldur's Gate 1, 2, and all that, but he is definitely legacy in that he was around the time when those influential writers were still there. And so this is just one weird off the base thing. And so now let's go to this one. The implication here is Dragon Age has never been gay, right? Now, obviously, I can't read this person's mind. Maybe it's it's gay in the sense that it's forced down your throat now. It's okay, sure. But we're going to go into the assumption that I just don't think he's really critically analyzed the games or critically thought about them. So let's go through it. Let's go through the history of Bioware and gays. So first off, at the start, Bioware didn't really have a lot of same-sex relationships. From Baldur's Gate, as you can just read in here, in Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Arm, the original Baldur's Gate games do not offer same-sex options, and in Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Arm, the main character can just romance, a woman and then another woman, and for, there's not much, right? There's not a lot of variety there. And then we get to Neverwinter Night, which also doesn't have any. There are no same-sex romances for the main campaign. In the custom modules, that's a bit different, but those are not Bioware approved. Those are other things, and even the expansions for Neverwinter Nights 1 didn't really have that. So again, what are we going to take from this? They didn't really have a lot of same-sex romance in the first two games, in Baldur's Gate 1, 2, and in Neverwinter Nights. What are we supposed to take from that? Is Bioware been defiled since KOTOR? No. Because the literal next game that they make, the biggest hit, KOTOR, had a same-sex relationship, which is Juhani. So, yeah, and I think most people think KOTOR is one of the best games in existence. So that's a bit weird to say. unless it was different because it's just different. It's just different. It's different. And then you go like, okay, cool. What's the next game? Jedi Empire. Okay, cool. They have now gone up to 2. Okay, you can romance Silk Fox as a female, and you can romance Sky as a male. Nice. And I think people like that as well. I don't know. Just a quick thought of mine, And then Mass Effect. Now, Mass Effect is also a bit different series, and this requires a bit more of a lengthy discussion. When Bioware went to Mass Effect 1, it does seem like the focus wasn't really on romances as much. The characters were still the focus, but for romances, you were very limited in options. Male and females could romance Liara, but if you were a male Shepard, you could only romance Ashley, and if you were a female Shepard, you could only romance Kaden, right? There wasn't a lot of variety there. And I don't really think a lot of people, and this is just my opinion and my perspective, but I don't really count Liara as same-sex due to like lore implications, and also like this is the stereotypical of what a lot of dudes would go like, that's acceptable. Because a lot of like non-gay dudes would probably, like straight dudes would just go, that's okay. So, and Mass Effect is this weird thing because compared to Dragon Age, it has a lot less diversity in it, weirdly enough. That's for probably another discussion another time. But again, still, we have a gay character right here. And then we have Liliana, a bisexual. And then we have Zevran, also a bisexual, right? And it's just like, okay, cool. You have those characters, and it's like suddenly here, like, okay, Dragon gay. Like, that has always, Dragon Age has always had, like, LGBT characters. That's not a new thing. It's weird to talk about it like it's a new sudden thing. Is it because what they're going to do is forced? I don't know, dude. That's not, and if it is forced, then that's not the gay people being the problem. That's just poor writing. Like, that, this is a weird association that if you have a bad gay character, it's because it's a gay character problem and not a writing problem. Like, if there was a terrible romance in, like, a video game with just a man and a woman, right? Like, people would rightfully call that a writing problem, not a straight problem, And this is the weird thing that this guy, for some reason, just does a lot, which is, I don't know, assume that... I don't know, just like, yeah, it's hard to grasp, And then the next game we go to, Mass Effect 2 only had, like, Kelly Chambers. You could technically romance Liara again. That's in the Shadowbroker DLC, and I don't really want to include that because it's a, DLC. And Kelly Chambers is not really a expansive one, and most people romance Kelly Chambers, myself included, just so she can feed her fish. That's literally it, okay? We only do it so she can feed her fish, so we don't have to, like, oh, gosh darn it, I can't get the achievement now, damn it. That's the only reason, okay? Which is, again, a weird thing for Dragon. And then Dragon Age 2, right? Now we have all of them, except for Varric and Sebastian, all bisexual, except for Carver. You can't romance your siblings. All of them bisexual, except you can't also romance Aveline. But besides that, you can romance all the other companions as any gender. Like, a lot of people had an issue at that time, but the issue wasn't that they were gay. It was more of like so do they not have their own identities, right? Their sexual preferences and whatnot. But that's a different thing altogether, right? That's not the conversation of Dragon Age has, or like Bioware in general has, like, not been gay, or like being gay in a different way. It's like it's just weird. So then I have this one. Mass Effect 3 is when, like, Mass Effect became a lot more diverse. Like, Kaden, and it's a bit weird, Kaden being gay in Mass Effect 3 isn't bad, but it definitely feels a bit weird because it's like, you never knew that in Mass Effect 1. So it feels like retroactively making him gay, which doesn't feel as satisfying. It's not bad because he's gay, it's bad because it feels very inconsistent, which is, again, a writing problem. And then we have Cortez, and then Samantha. Nice. And that was all in 2012, right? So Bioware has been, like, since Mass Effect, which released in 2007, like, had, like, gay characters, or bisexual characters, or LGBT characters in every game. And then we get to Dragon Age Inquisition, which is, you have gay Dorian, gay Sarah, con romance. You have gay Iron Bull, only males, con romance. Bold, and then you have also bold, and then yeah, like you have these characters as the companions, and companions aren't just the only ones you could romance. Bioware in Dragon Age Inquisition expanded it, so Josephine you could romance as a woman as well, and I think a couple of the characters I can't remember. But that's the thing, right? Like Bioware, since like its early days, has always like tried to do more like diverse things. Like Baldur's Gate 1, 2, and Neverwinter Nights may have not have that because that was a different sort of time. But like after that, it's just they've been having this. So it's again weird to assume that this is like a weird new thing. You know, it's always weird when people like this make these things and are like assuming that this is just a new development happened. You know, they discovered just today that oh my gosh, Bioware's doing something gay. Damn, dude. It's like okay, like they've always been doing that, you know. And if we just look at the comments, it also seems weird. It's like I'm very worried for Dreadful. For what? Like, are you worried because it's gay? Like, if it didn't have gayness, it's like it'd be fine. I don't know, dude. And then you have like, oh, that's me. And then you have like this one who just correctly points out like, are you forgetting how gay Dragon Age is? Or did you throw a tantrum when Zevron flirted you in 2009? Right? Like, obviously as a straight dude, I was like, oh, Zevron, what are you doing, my guy? I'm not into you. It was more awkward for me than anything else because I was like, man, dude. I mean, I feel bad turning you down, but like, I don't swing that way, my guy. It was never like an issue, but it seems like for some people it was a big issue, and I don't know. It's like here, another great franchise killed by the alphabet mob. Dragon Age Origins is a top 10 RPG, missing the fact that you have Zevron and Liliana in it. To think something was clearly cooking in the industry about 2015. It goes way back farther, but this tipping point, all the good writers left their respective companies. Said companies keep releasing It's like, what are you talking about, dude? What does this have to involve in like gay characters, my guy? It's like there will be a new gaming crash in the West soon, methinks. Like, what do you mean, dude? Like, what? I don't know, man. This feels weird, dude. And I'm not sure if this guy's mostly joking. I imagine he's joking, but like, some people like say this for real. It's so weird. It's like, if anything bad happens, it's because of bad writing, you know, not because of like gay characters, right? I can't wait. Finally, the names Dragon Age will and Bioware will be able to rest in peace, like Volition and Saint Rose. Like what? Because of like gay characters? What do you mean, dude? This feels like so weird. And then like, Origins was so good. Then EA came along and fucked it up and for everybody. Look at Baldur's Gate 3 now. Wait, what? What do you mean, dude? This feels like so weird. Like, are you praising Baldur's Gate 3, the not gay game? Like, what do you mean, dude? Is this like a joke or not? I can't tell. And then like this one, right? Let's all know this one. I don't know about Patrick Week. Patrick, he co-wrote wrote every good Bioware game in the last 20 years. 50% chance of being good. Okay, and like, this is a bit more reasonable, but still weird overall, because it's like, I don't know, it's in context of like this, right? But yeah. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. Just like something I found very interesting and something that has a weird tendency to popping up over and over again, which is people keep realizing Bioware has gay people in it and writes gay people into their stories. It's weird so many times that it happens, and I just don't get it. Like, do they not realize? Can they not think about it? Have they played these games? Like, what's going on? I don't know. But anyways, I've been randomly rambling, or ramblingly randomly. So yeah, if you liked it, you know, do the things like subscribe, perhaps even commenting would be cool as well. I'm not sure. I think it would be cool. But yeah, enjoy your day.